All right, folks, I got about 10 minutes. I need to say a kutti story in those 10 minutes. I'll try my best, okay? I have about 10 to 12 slides to actually cover. I launched this platform called Hindumisia.ai to track anti-Hindu hate on Twitter, leveraging artificial intelligence and related, technologies. We live in an interconnected world where, information flows freely, between communities, I think across regions, borders, so on and so forth. And anti-Hindu hate is one of the free information that we actually get. And social media actually amplifies this problem. That's the main reason why I actually wanted to put a product in place for us to be able to track it. The other motivation was quite historic, actually. It was Mr. Manishankarayya's comment almost 10 years ago that led me to actually analyze his own writings to see how the Hindu sentiment, how the hate sentiment was. I used certain primitive techniques available at that time to be able to track it. And then, since I think a lot of water has flown down the technology bridge, one thing led to another. I was finally able to, put together a tool that would track anti-Hindu hate on Twitter called the Global Anti-Hindu Scorecard. That was the first product that we actually put out about a year and a half ago. That was derailed by Mr. Musk because he started charging for tweets. And I had to repurpose the model. While we were working on repurposing the model, I went and did something similar on YouTube, kind of sourced YouTube data to identify influencing channels on few topics. Of late, about 2 months ago, I launched Atrocity Analytics, which is basically the same AI model, repurposed to go and quantify and visualize hate in all this atrocity literature. The first report that we published was on James Mill's history book, published in 1817. The next one, I know it's out there on the slide. I was hoping actually I'll be able to do it before this conference. I could not complete that report. That report will be based on E.V. Ramasamy Nayak's Ramayana True Reading, actually, which is something that I'll be publishing at, next month. Okay. What made Hindumisia.ai possible? Frankly speaking, or simply put, a concept called language model. I'm sure you would have heard about this sentence or phrase in the last 1 year since the advent of ChatGPT, right? Language model is actually a model that will predict the next word in a sentence. That's its basic capability. Today you have language models that can potentially write academic papers, respond to exam questions, so on and so forth. All it does is it'll try to predict the next word in a sentence. This capability, was kind of achieved over a period of few decades, actually, in fact. I think it started in 1987 when a concept paper for machines to have the ability to learn was published. Because if AI's goal is to mimic human behavior, one of the human behavior is to actually learn. Although my father may disagree, but one of the goals of AI is to actually mimic human behavior. And the concept paper was published in 1987. And I think that led to a spurt of academic research. And then I think in about a decade or two, that capability was, that concept, I should say, was converted into a capability in the 2000s called reinforcement learning that you actually see. Google in 2018 released state-of-the-art language model called BERT. All the ChatGPTs that you see today, ChatGPTs and Claudes of the world and all that stuff, were spin-offs of Google's BERT. So Hindumisia.ai was actually based on Google's BERT that was released in 2018. In the last 70 years, AI's story has been a story of hope, hype, and failures for the first 30, 40 years. ChatGPT actually changed it now, So it's the first mass product from the field of AI. There has been none before. ChatGPT, Claudes of the world, and there are so many AI tools that's coming out in the market every day. That's because of this concept called language model, okay? Why is it important to track online anti-Hindu hate? You know, we published a report in May of 2023 called the Global Anti-Hindu Report, sourcing data from Twitter from March of 2022 to December of 2022. We were able to map the real-world violence. We mapped all the events that kind of triggered anti-Hindu hate between March and December of 2022. You see those top three: Kashmir Files, the Nupur Sharma episode, and the UK violence, right? Two of them actually led to physical violence, physical threats and violence. In fact, one of them led to murder as well, actually. So, you know, one of the reasons for me trying to do this is to capture that evidence. You know, we had, I think in the previous session, people are talking about gathering evidence, right? So this is one of them, actually. So this is the reason why we need to start tracking anti-Hindu hate using all the latest that the technology can actually offer, okay? Okay. How all we can actually use AI in terms of countering anti-Hindu hate, right? See, there are a lot of recent developments in the field of AI that can help us generate content, you know, generate our own narratives with scale and speed. I look at them in two different ways. One is called as offensive priorities, where you play on the front foot. Another is the defensive priorities, where you kind of play on the back foot. These are some generic opportunities that are out there as far as leveraging AI and the generative AI capability that's out there for us today, okay? Now, I have certain ideas that I've listed here. These are suggestions for us to be able to implement. I'm not going to read through all of them, actually. I do want to highlight two. One is the multilingual translation that you see, which is the third one, and then the last one is the games. See, I know we are bent on creating a lot of information for our audience. You know, there's a lot, there are a lot of portals, podcasters doing this in English and in all the other Bharatiya languages. I think we should think beyond Indian languages. If, let's say, Hinduism is growing in Africa, why can't we translate all our content in appropriate African languages? You take one or two languages, you can cover entire South America, right? I think we should just think outside the bun, if you will, or outside the box. Look at additional languages that they can certainly publish our content. That's one. Second one that I want to highlight is the games, right? If you open up PS5, PS4s, Xbox, all that stuff, right? You have, especially PS5, my kids play it actually today. If you take FIFA 2023, it has amazing graphics. Stunning graphics, in fact, actually. You know, when I say these opportunities, I don't mean honestly, some silly stuff. So we have these games that we can certainly develop. A couple of ideas there, right? There could be a game on geography of Ramayana. There's a book actually written by a former, I think, ISRO scientist, Geography of Ramayana. We can build a game. Another one is, I would say, Rivers of Rigveda. It's the same scientist who has that. So we have to look at building such games. These are, remember, these are all big ticket items. I don't think it can be done in a volunteer effort. These are $50 million, $100 million investment expenses just to build these games. These are just some ideas for us to ponder over. Obviously, there are limitations, right? Volunteerism can only take you so far. Funding, self-funding and GoFundMe campaigns cannot take you anywhere, actually. I think we need to corporatize all these efforts. Access. I lost access simply because I could not afford $40,000 per month to get Twitter data. So access is an issue. I don't know whether it's possible to actually, what do I say? It's possible to solve that problem, but that's actually a limitation that I have actually faced. Threats posed by AI. I don't have much time, I guess, so I'll just stick to a few things. You know, Obama bombed the hell out of Pakistan and Afghanistan during his regime using drones. Drones did not decide to kill people. It was Obama or his general decided. But the real threat today with AI is an autonomous machine deciding whom to kill. That's actually an unethical use of AI. AI researchers don't actually believe in that, actually. Another one is robotic boss. I'm an IT guy. If I'm asked to write a tool for performance management, I don't want the tool to evaluate my own performance, right? I don't want to sign my own death warrant, actually. So that is actually an unethical issue as well. And then there's a question of privacy and ethics, which can simply be resolved using this framework: accountability, responsibility, transparency. As long as if you build a tool using AI, and if you want to make clear statements that will declare your accountability, responsibility, and transparency, that's how you actually cover and deal with some of the issues that will be, that will come up. There are quite a lot of things happening on this front. I'll probably take extra 30, 40 seconds. I'll be done very, very soon. Quite a lot of things happening on this front. There are a lot of initiatives on creating these Bharat GPTs, blah, 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 all that stuff. How do I know? Because my son and his former classmate, they both are looking at it, developing something for Vedic Renaissance, and more of a commercial effort. These are not volunteer efforts. So that's something that I have actually researched to find out what's happening on the ground. There are many, many initiatives. They are all fragmented and disjointed, which leads me to the next point. I think my suggestion here is, I know there are 7 forums here. Hopefully for the next World Hindu Conference, they would, I would like to see them add another forum called Hindu Technology Forum, which will just not be ornamental in nature. I would like that forum to actually take stewardship of all these disjointed initiatives, bring it under one umbrella, help people connect, collaborate, offer research support, provide needs for people to create all these GPTs. And then, perhaps, run a center of excellence for AI. AI is changing every day, actually, right? Perhaps run a center of excellence and be that thread that Anand Narasimhan actually mentioned in the last session, be the thread for the technology folks. And obviously, dollar support is essential for it. I am pretty much done. I just want to leave this for 10 seconds. I owe a lot of gratitude for a number of people who helped me along this journey as I built this tool. Many of them you probably may actually some of them are some of my close buddies as well. I'm not going to read all of them. There is Mr. Vikram Sharma sitting right here, Hindu Post. He's the one who invited me for this talk. This is it. And, I have all these reports. If you are interested in it, you can scan the QR code. It's in my Google Drive. So you have to request access for it. I will be able to provide you access later on. That would be it, folks. Okay? All right. Thank you.